I think we can all agree that Xbox's event was very good, and for once I was actually pleasantly shocked by a gaming event because usually they're all garbage like the Nintendo event was. But of course, PlayStation fanboys are out in full force trying to damage control for their favorite corporation, even though they definitely don't need to damage control absolutely anything, since no matter where you play you won't have much of a different experience, and thankfully normal people are fully aware of that. Shown by the like to dislike ratio on this guy's video, so without further delay, I'll let the video play.
Hi and welcome back. I just finished watching the E3 game conference show from Microsoft for 2021. I kind of had high hopes for it. They have been talking about all their game studios. They have been talking about bringing a lot more games to the Xbox systems and Game Pass, etc.
And they delivered on exactly what they promised. Halo Infinite looked fantastic, Forza Horizon 5 looked fantastic, and pretty much everything they showed looked fantastic. Apart from Redfall, which I don't think anyone can actually figure out what the fuck it is.
But, wow. Basically 80% were shooters. Just shooters.
If that's the only complaint you can come up with, then I'm once again unsurprised by a PlayStation fanboy. It's amazing how these people will praise Sony for constantly putting out games with the same recycled third-person over-the-shoulder open-world baseline, but they'll shit on Xbox for delivering what looks like to be a ton of great shooters to their user base. I mean, God forbid Xbox does exactly what they've been crying about for what feels like an eternity, aka fixing the quote-unquote no games problem.
They even ended with a shooter.
Oh my god, how will Xbox ever recover from showing a shooter at the end of their E3 presentation?
Holy shit. And they even talked about, yeah, we're working on Elder Scrolls 6, yeah, duh. Yeah, we're working on a new Fable, yes, we're working on this, we're working on that, but nothing has been shown. I mean, seriously, come on, how much time do you need to let people see a little bit of gameplay?
This is the same shit Crab Gamer tried to put on Twitter when he claimed Xbox didn't show any gameplay of Halo Infinite, even though there was gameplay shown. Also, there was gameplay shown for Forza Horizon 5 and Stalker 2, plus a few more games, so I have no idea why he thinks there wasn't much gameplay shown, because there undeniably was. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he never even watched the event.
So, they did start out really interesting with Starfield, and I'm like, okay, finally, we're gonna see something cool. It was like 20 seconds of nothing saying in-game graphics. Just showing a little bit of graphics. I mean, okay. So Starfield has been announced, I think like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and that's the only thing they can show?
What confuses me the most about these types of channels is always so vocal even though they have no idea what they're talking about. I personally don't like what they showed for Starfield, but to expect anything more than that is pretty ignorant to say the very least. It's meant to be Bethesda's next brand new big IP, and I highly doubt Microsoft is allowing them to rush it out the door like they did with Fallout 76. And anyone who was expected to see some gameplay for Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6 was simply being blindly optimistic.
Wow. Same goes with Halo Infinite. It definitely looked a lot better than last year. And the online mode will be free to play. Okay, that's pretty cool. And there was going to be campaign mode. I mean, that's pretty cool, but a shooter, another shooter.
To try and downplay the graphics upgrade in Halo Infinite is extremely disingenuous to say the very least. The game looks almost completely different, and instead of having Xbox 360 graphics, it now has what most people consider next-gen graphics. And just to run the game off because it's a shooter makes zero sense to me.
The only game I was really impressed with, to be honest, was Diablo 2. No, I'm joking.
If you can't tell, I'm currently dying of laughter after listening to that incredibly funny joke.
That was Forza Horizon 5. Now that game looked really cool. At least that's not really right. I mean, it looked really good. But open world race game, I'm kind of more of the Gran Turismo, just racing, that's it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is surprised by the fact you prefer Gran Turismo over Forza.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of racing myself, but I do like arcade racers and Gran Turismo once in a while, etc. So,
to be honest, I am extremely disappointed extremely disappointed. They did not sway me to get the Game Pass. They did not sway me to get an Xbox Series X.
Xbox could have quite literally cured cancer and you still would have found a way to be disappointed.
And basically they're giving Sony and Nintendo almost another free pass for a couple of years to definitely do a lot better.
Just by looking on Twitter for a few seconds, you can get a quick sense of the fact that Xbox's event was fantastic, thanks to the salty PlayStation fans, who have been crying over the fact Xbox has done the exact thing they've been begging them to do for years. And man, that JTech tweet from a few years ago really did not age well.
Hopefully. I mean, Sony has been doing pretty okay. You know, Demon's Souls, Spider-Man.
I can't lie, I do hate it when people praise the Demon's Souls quote-unquote remaster. That shit's a straight copy and paste and it isn't even close to being worthy of $70 fucking.
Returnal.
Bro, did this motherfucker really just say Sony took a W with Returnal? That game was a shit show and cost them a ton of negative PR, thanks to how buggy it was at launch, plus it got a ton of negative reviews from people, thanks to how poorly constructed it was. Oh, and don't forget about the fact it was also priced at $70, even though it was clearly only worth $40 at max. PlayStation 100% took a fat L with that game.
That's a new IP, seems to be selling pretty well, and has been received pretty well.
I have no idea what world he's been living in for the past couple of months, but it sure as hell is in this one.
The new Ratchet & Clank seems to be fantastic. I have heard that there is a pretty big patch you need to download, and if you don't do that, then the game is kind of buggy. I'm not entirely sure if that's like a huge thing or it's just a little buggy, but that's kind of disappointing. Really makes me get less and less interested in next gen in a perspective of a game collector.
It's amazing how hard he's trying to not criticize his Lord and Savior PlayStation. Also, what the fuck does any of that have to do with wanting to collect video games?
All in all, this was laughable bad. This was laughable bad. 80% were like shooters.
Once again, brushing off the event because it had shooters in it isn't a legitimate excuse at all. And to say the event was laughably bad is beyond wrong. I personally can't wait to start playing games like Back 4 Blood through Game Pass later this year, since that's one of the games I would have almost guaranteed bought anyway. If you can somehow manage to claim 30 plus games being announced for Game Pass as bad, then there's no hope left for you.
But I guess Microsoft wanted to go that way. Leave it in the comments below. What did you think of the Microsoft E3 2021 game conference? And like, share, comment and subscribe. And like always, you gotta see me next time.
Well, I definitely know I won't be subscribing or liking the video anytime soon, but thankfully we have finally reached the end of that horrifically bad video, so with all that being said, please do not forget to do all the things YouTubers love to beg you to do, aka check out my Discord, Twitter, as well as like, comment and subscribe, so I'll see you all in the next video.